Abu Dhabi's main airport, now officially called Zayed International Airport, renamed in February 2024, has grown from a small desert airstrip in the 1950s into one of the busiest hubs in the Middle East, serving nearly 30 million passengers annually. Its story reflects the UAE's transformation from an oil-based economy into a global aviation and tourism powerhouse. In the 1930s, long before the glittering skyscrapers and bustling highways, Abu Dhabi was a quiet desert outpost. The first hint of aviation came when a military airstrip was carved out on Sir Bani Yas Island in 1930. It was rudimentary, little more than a flat stretch of land, but it marked the start of the Emirates' relationship with the skies. By the 1950s, oil exploration was transforming Abu Dhabi's fortunes. To support this new industry, a small airfield was built in 1955, consisting of a short salt-flat runway and a few basic facilities. It was functional rather than glamorous, serving the needs of engineers, surveyors, and oil company staff. Aircraft landed and took off under visual guidance alone. There was no radar, no advanced navigation. Pilots relied on clear skies and daylight. This airfield quickly became a lifeline. Gulf Aviation, one of the region's pioneering airlines, began using it as a stopover point on its route between Doha and Sharjah. For the people of Abu Dhabi, seeing these aircraft touch down was a glimpse into a modern world that was just beginning to unfold. The airfield, however, was far from perfect. In the 1960s, the limitations became painfully clear. The dirt runway was prone to flooding after seasonal rains, leaving it unusable for days. Night flights were impossible, there was no lighting system, and the desert darkness was absolute. For a city on the cusp of growth, these shortcomings were frustrating. Yet the oil boom was accelerating. Wealth was flowing in, and with it came a demand for better connections to the outside world. Business leaders, government officials, and foreign partners needed reliable air travel. The tiny strip simply couldn't keep up with the ambitions of a city that was beginning to dream big. It was during this period that Abu Dhabi's leaders realized the need for a modern jet-age airport. The vision was clear. If Abu Dhabi was to step onto the global stage, it needed an aviation gateway worthy of its aspirations. Plans were drawn up to move beyond the salt-flat runway and create a facility that could welcome the new generation of aircraft. Larger, faster, and capable of linking Abu Dhabi directly to the world. This decision set the stage for the construction of Abu Dhabi International Airport in the 1970s, a project that would transform the Emirates' connectivity and lay the foundation for its rise as a global hub. By the mid-1960s, Abu Dhabi was no longer the sleepy desert town of the past. Oil revenues were reshaping the city, and the old salt-flat airstrip could no longer meet the demands of a rapidly growing capital. In 1966, construction began on a new airport southeast of the city. This was a bold step forward. A 200-meter runway capable of handling jet aircraft, and a passenger terminal designed by British architects. For the first time, Abu Dhabi had an airport that looked outward to the world, not just inward to its oil fields. But ambition did not stop there. By 1974, the newly formed UAE government envisioned something even larger, a true international airport that could serve as a hub for the nation. The leaders understood that aviation would be central to connecting Abu Dhabi with global trade, tourism, and diplomacy. The plans were drawn for a facility that would rival the best in the region. Construction began in 1979 at a new site further outside the city. It was a massive undertaking, symbolizing Abu Dhabi's determination to step onto the world stage. Engineers and planners worked tirelessly to create a design that was both functional and iconic. The result was a distinctive layout, a circular satellite terminal connected to a semicircular main terminal, a futuristic design for its time that allowed efficient passenger flow and aircraft movement. Finally, on January 2, 1982, Abu Dhabi International Airport officially opened. The inauguration marked more than just the launch of a new building. It was the unveiling of Abu Dhabi's gateway to the world. For travelers arriving, the airport was their first impression of a nation in transformation. For residents, it was a symbol of progress, pride, and possibility. This chapter set the stage for the airport's later expansions and the rise of Etihad Airways in the 2000s, which would turn Abu Dhabi into a global aviation hub. The dawn of the 21st century brought a new chapter in Abu Dhabi's aviation story. In 2003, the government launched Etihad Airways as the national carrier. This was more than just an airline, it was a statement of intent. Etihad would make Abu Dhabi its home base, and in doing so, it transformed the airport into a bustling hub. Almost overnight, passenger numbers surged, and the airport's facilities strained under the weight of this rapid growth. To keep pace, Terminal 2 opened in 2005. Though modest compared to the main terminal, it provided much-needed breathing room, handling regional and budget carriers while easing congestion. It was a practical solution, but the city's ambitions were already stretching far beyond. By 2008, Abu Dhabi had added a second runway, 13L/31R. This wasn't just an expansion, it was a symbol of scale. With 2 parallel runways, the airport could accommodate more aircraft movements, positioning itself alongside the world's busiest hubs. The desert airstrip of the 1950s was now unrecognizable. The momentum continued. In 2009, Terminal 3 was unveiled, sleek and modern, designed to serve Etihad's growing fleet. With this addition, the airport's capacity leapt to 12 million passengers per year. For travelers, the experience was smoother, faster, and more international. For Abu Dhabi, it was proof that the city was no longer just a regional stopover. It was becoming a destination in its own right. This period marked the airport's transformation from a functional gateway into a strategic hub, tightly linked to Etihad's rise as a global airline. The stage was now set for the next bold leap, the construction of the midfield terminal, Terminal A, one of the largest airport projects in the world. By the early 2010s, Abu Dhabi had already proven itself as a rising aviation hub. Etihad Airways was expanding across continents, and the airport's existing terminals were struggling to keep pace with the surge in passengers. The city needed something bold, something that would not only handle the growing traffic but also showcase Abu Dhabi's ambition to stand shoulder to shoulder with the world's great airports. In 2012, construction began on what was called the Midfield Terminal Complex. Rising from the desert between the 2 runways, it was envisioned as a marvel of modern architecture, a sweeping, futuristic structure that would redefine the passenger experience. The design was grand and ambitious, with vast glass facades and soaring ceilings that allowed natural light to flood the interior. It was more than just a building. It was a symbol of Abu Dhabi's vision of progress. The terminal was designed to handle 45 million passengers annually, a staggering leap from the airport's earlier capacity. Inside, travelers would find advanced technology at every step: automated check-in counters, smart baggage systems, and streamlined security and immigration processes. Beyond efficiency, the terminal promised comfort and luxury, with expansive retail spaces, dining options, and lounges that turned the airport into a destination in itself. Yet, the journey to completion was not without challenges. Construction delays, shifting timelines, and the global pandemic slowed progress. 4 years, the midfield terminal stood as a promise waiting to be fulfilled, its gleaming structure visible but not yet open to the public. By 2023, however, the project was finally nearing completion, 97% finished, and anticipation was at its peak. In a move that reflected its readiness to serve as the airport centerpiece, the terminal was renamed Terminal A. This new identity aligned it with international standards and marked the beginning of a new era. For Abu Dhabi, Terminal A was not just about capacity, it was about prestige. It was the gateway through which millions of travelers would experience the city, and it positioned Abu Dhabi as a serious competitor to the region's busiest hubs. Terminal A's story is one of ambition, resilience, and vision, a chapter that transformed Abu Dhabi's airport from a growing hub into a world-class aviation powerhouse. By February 2024, Abu Dhabi's airport entered a new era when it was officially renamed Zayed International Airport, honoring Sheikh Zayed bin Sultan Al Nahyan, the founding father of the UAE. The renaming was more than symbolic. It reflected the nation's pride in its heritage and its ambition to remain a global aviation leader. Today, the airport sprawls across 15,000 acres of desert land, a vast complex that dwarfs its humble beginnings. Two parallel runways, each stretching 4,205 meters, allow it to accommodate the largest aircraft in the world, from the Airbus A380 to long-haul cargo planes. The scale of operations is staggering. In 2024, the airport handled nearly 29.5 million passengers, with around 250,000 aircraft movements and close to 679,000 tons of cargo. What was once a lifeline for oil engineers in the 1950s has become a crossroads for travelers, traders, and tourists from every corner of the globe. At its heart lies Etihad Airways, the national carrier, which continues to anchor Abu Dhabi's aviation strategy. Alongside it, Air Arabia Abu Dhabi has established a strong base, while more than 24 international airlines connect the city to 128 destinations worldwide. For passengers, the airport is not just a transit point, it is a gateway to the UAE's culture, commerce, and hospitality. From a salt-flat runway to a world-class hub, Zayed International Airport now stands as a symbol of Abu Dhabi's transformation, embodying both its history and its vision for the future. Pushpin key takeaways. From a tiny desert strip in 1955 to a global hub in 2024, Abu Dhabi's airport mirrors the UAE's meteoric rise. The Terminal A project is the centerpiece of future expansion, positioning Abu Dhabi as a major competitor to Dubai International Airport. Its renaming to Zayed International Airport underscores the nation's pride in its founding father and its ambition to remain a world-class aviation hub. Zayed International Airport. Technology plays a central role in making the passenger journey faster, smoother, and more secure. The runways themselves are engineered for efficiency. Two parallel strips, each over 4,200 meters long, capable of handling the largest aircraft in the world. Advanced lighting systems, precision navigation aids, and real-time monitoring ensure that takeoffs and landings happen safely and without delay, even in challenging weather. Inside the terminal, immigration and security have been transformed by automation. Smart e-gates allow passengers to clear immigration in seconds. Using biometric verification, no need for long queues or manual stamping. Facial recognition and fingerprint systems are integrated with national databases, making the process both faster and more secure. Passenger flow is designed for speed. Automated check-in kiosks, baggage drop machines, and AI-driven security screening reduce waiting times dramatically. Even baggage handling is powered by high-speed conveyor systems and RFID tracking, ensuring luggage moves seamlessly from check-in to aircraft. Together, these innovations mean that a traveler can move from runway to immigration to boarding in record time with minimal friction. It's a far cry from the salt-flat strip of the 1950s. Today, Abu Dhabi's airport is a showcase of how technology can turn air travel into a fast, efficient, and almost effortless experience. Imagine yourself stepping into Zayed International Airport, where every detail is designed to move you forward quickly and effortlessly. You arrive at the terminal, sunlight pouring through the glass facades, and head straight to the self-service kiosks. With few taps, your boarding pass prints, and your luggage is tagged. You place your bag on the sleek automated drop belt, and in seconds it disappears into the high-speed system tracked by RFID so you know it will meet you at your destination. Next, you glide towards security. Instead of the old shuffle of trays and queues, advanced CT scanners scan your belongings without fuss. You don't even need to remove electronics or liquids. The machines hum quietly, and you're through in moments. Immigration feels almost futuristic. You walk up to an e-gate, place your passport on the scanner, and look into the camera. Facial recognition verifies you instantly. The gate slides open and you're cleared. No stamping, no waiting, just a smooth passage into the departure hall. Inside, the terminal feels like a city. Boulevards of shops and restaurants stretch out, Digital screens guide you to your gate, and the air is filled with a sense of calm efficiency. When boarding begins, you pass through another automated gate, your biometrics checked once more, and you step onto the aircraft without delay. Out on the airfield, the two parallel runways, each over 4 kilometers long, handle the rhythm of arrivals and departures. Precision, navigation systems, and advanced lighting ensure that even in low visibility, aircraft move safely and swiftly. From curbside to runway, the journey feels less like a process and more like a flow, technology quietly working in the background so you can move forward without interruption. It's a far cry from the dusty strip of the 1950s. Today, Abu Dhabi's airport is a showcase of speed, intelligence, and modern design. From its humble beginnings as a tiny desert strip in 1955, Abu Dhabi's airport has grown into a global hub by 2024, mirroring the meteoric rise of the UAE itself. What started as a lifeline for oil exploration crews has become a crossroads for millions of travelers, symbolizing the nation's transformation from isolation to international prominence. The centerpiece of this evolution is Terminal A, a megaproject designed to handle tens of millions of passengers each year. Its scale and sophistication position Abu Dhabi as a serious competitor to Dubai International Airport, signaling the Emirates' determination to claim its place among the world's leading aviation hubs. The renaming of the airport to Zayed International Airport in 2024 adds a final, deeply symbolic layer to the story. It honors Sheikh Zayed bin Sultan Al Nahyan, the founding father of the UAE, and underscores the nation's pride in its heritage while looking boldly toward the future.